Hello everybody, how are you doing today? Welcome back to another energy reading for the week of May 10th, 2021. How is everybody doing? It is now the day that I'm recording, it is Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all of the hardworking mamas out there. I hope all of you have a beautiful, wonderful day with you and your babies babies maybe. It's a beautiful day for sure. I know for me personally, my husband wanted to let me sleep in. So he took my daughter out. She woke up around 6:30 and he took her out and he went to go give her a bottle. As soon as she was done her bottle, he went to go put it in the sink. The moment he went to go put it in the sink, she came running down the hallway because she knew where mommy was. So she came barging into the bedroom and woke me up at 7:15. So I didn't sleep for very long, but it was a sleep in, that's for sure. So yeah, for those of you that are new to the group, my name is Trisha Schinkel. I am your awakening coach from innerbuddha.ca. And yeah, I am here to help you through your awakening journey. And that is what I do. So a little, before we get into the actual energy reading, I just want to jump into the announcements and let you guys know that there is a new podcast that I released. This one is a collaboration that I did with a group member in our Facebook group. If you're watching on YouTube, the Facebook group, if you're interested, is called The Awakening Journey. That is something that I manage as well. So if you're interested, there, go right ahead and jump right in. So the podcast episode is all about nurturing the empathic child. And it's interesting that I launched it this weekend. Being Mother's Day, right? I didn't actually plan it that way. It just kind of worked out that way, which is good. So the empathic child, so really like we are focusing so much on ourselves. We're adults. We go through our lives and we have these overwhelming sensations as empaths and we feel things so hard, but we forget that kids, there are really sensitive kids out there too. I know my son, for one, is very, very sensitive. And so I felt it was really important to do this show with Elizabetta. And she helped we kind of just talked back and forth about, our experiences about being a mom with a very empathic child, very sensitive, very emotionally sensitive. And things that you kind of like overlook sometimes, and it's a really great episode. It's got packed full with great just energy, and the knowledge that she shares is remarkable. So definitely check that out if you want. It's on any podcast platform, and just go find the Awakening Journey podcast. And the link, of course, is also in the group here as well. So I've shared that as well if you want. Or if you want, on my business page, Inner Buddha's business page on Facebook. So yeah, and just to let you guys also know, I do have some coaching spots available too if you're interested. So coaching, what it looks like for me, it's really just spiritual mentorship. There's a lot of healing that comes with the coaching that I do. And as well as just, spiritual guidance on your awakening path, about where you're going, because awakening isn't always so easy. But the thing is that once you tune into it, it becomes a lot easier. It's just that we avoid it because we don't know. It's kind of like that uncharted territory that we're just afraid to step into. But then once you actually step into it, you're like, wow, it really wasn't that hard to go through this, right? So, and it's a never-ending journey, that's for sure. But if you need help along your path, definitely message me. That's what I'm here to do. So yeah, so I want to just get into the reading. So when I tapped in to the energy this week, I felt a really close connection, almost like this coming together of just love and I don't know how else to describe it. It's just a really coming together, and so just so happens to be Mother's Day weekend, right? So it kind of perpetuates that feeling of connection and togetherness that mothers love, and especially with their children, that connection, right? And then when I was tapping into that connection, I realized that one thing that popped up was purpose. And of course, women, we are here, we have many purposes, right? We play many roles as wives, as supporters of our friends and family, as mothers, as sisters, as, you know, and we have all these different roles. But purpose is something that we tend to kind of fall to the wayside because we think, well, you know, our purpose is our job, right? A lot of people think that, you know, their purpose is their career. And if you are able to be your most authentic self entirely throughout your whole entire career, then that is what you're meant to do, right? Because your purpose in life really is just to be you the best way that you can possibly be. Most authentically you to the core without apologizing for being yourself, right? And that's the thing too, is a lot of times we apologize because people may get offended or may have a different view, or they may not connect with the same energies that you do within that purpose, right? So it's just standing true into it and just saying, this is me, and take it or leave it, right? That's basically the attitude you almost need to have. But that's what I really tuned into. And one thought that came up is what I noticed, and I've been hearing people talk about a lot, is that millennials have been getting a bad rap because the older generations, right? I'm kind of in the middle between millennials and the older generation, right? So the older generation was taught to pick a career that you're going to go in your entire life through, right? And for me, I know personally, I can only spend so long at a career before I learned everything I needed to learn, and I'm like, I'm done with it. I don't have anything more to do, right? So I moved on and I would do something new. And then the millennials, they're like YouTube sensations and things that gamers, right? Like things that you're like, oh, that's not going to be a real lucrative job. You can't support yourself. But meanwhile, they're making millions of dollars, making more than anyone else that could ever imagine. Of course, that's not all of them, but that's the thing, is that the mentality has shifted and changed, and it's a new viewpoint, it's a new perspective, and it's just stepping into that energy and allowing yourself to become more curious about it. Because let's face it, when you are sitting in that job for 20, 25 years, you're not, most of the time you're not happy. Your soul's not happy. There's a part of you that's longing for something more. You don't know what that is because you've never explored it. You never dove into that part of you. So now we're getting to a time of evolution where it is being brought forward. Like, what is it that you want to do, to spend your life doing, right? And like I said, millennials have been getting a bad rap, but they're setting the trend. They're setting the new way. They're creating new ways to be, to live. And yes, they are making a really good living, most of them, which is incredible. So it's just a matter of kind of tuning into not so much what your purpose is, because that can be confusing. The word purpose confuses people because then they think that they have to find this thing that they do for their whole entire lives. But that's it. That's not it at all. It's the segments of your life, different parts of it, right? Different parts of your life require different things from you, right? When you were younger, we had a lot more energy. We could do a lot more things out there, but then as you get older, things kind of just slow down, right? So you can't keep up the same pace throughout your entire life, and that's okay, right? But it's just allowing yourself to tune into you. That's it. Just be the best you that you can be, right? Thanks so much for the love and hug. But that's just it. It's just, I'm going to stand here and I'm going to tell you that you have permission to be the you that you've always wanted to be, and not be scared of showing it and boasting about it and bragging about it. And you know what? Being you can actually be a lucrative business as well, right? And you just add that business mindset. That's what I'm doing for myself. I'm the perfect example of that. I've walked away from a really great paying job with amazing benefits. And I'm taking a leap of faith on myself and doing the things that I'm supposed to do. And I've tuned into my own lives and my own energies, and what I've always done in past lives as well is I was always a teacher. I was always a teacher. I was always a healer. I was that one leading the way, right? And ironically, I'm doing it again. That's basically just what this is all leading to, right? So just find that part of you, that piece of you that has been calling out that you have been kind of stuffing down because you're like, oh, that's not practical. Oh, that's not what's going to do the job, right? Anything can be the job. Artists can make money, you know, singers, writers, anything, right? It's just, you'd be surprised what people would pay you to do. It's just a belief. Okay, I want to get into this. The biggest thing really is the belief that you have in yourself and your ability to do anything, whatever it is that you're doing, is what's going to make it real for you. That's what's going to make it true. Belief, again, is just a thought that you keep thinking. That's it. A belief is a thought you keep thinking. You're just thinking it over and over again, and you're adding more evidence every single time. You're gathering evidence every time that you're doing something and making it more true to you, right? So then you're kind of compounding this belief in yourself and building it up. And that's how it works, right? So whatever you want to do, and this is what I do with my clients too, is just like, whatever you want to do, let's go ahead and gather the evidence in your life, because there's always evidence. There is. You may not always see it, but it is there, and I can help you find it. And let's gather this evidence and create this foundation, a belief for you to jump off on, right? To be your catalyst point, this point where you completely go off in a different direction. Your life completely changes, and it changes for the better because you're being true to your soul. You're being true to what you are on the inside and what you've been called out to do, right? So I think we're all kind of stepping away from that way of being where we have to dedicate our entire lives to one job, right? One career, one thing. It's not that. Life, we came here for the experiences. We came here to dance with life. So how do you want to dance with life? What do you want to try out? You want to do that social butterfly thing. You want to go over here, try this thing. You want to go over there and try that thing. That's what it's all about. If you look back at the end of your life, if you were at this point, you're on your deathbed and you're looking back at your life right now, at this point, what would you change? What would you want to create? What would you wish you would have done? It's these experiences that you really want to tune into. You want to tap into that energy of like, what is it, if I was on my deathbed today, and I don't want to be morbid about it, but it's real. Like, what would I have wanted to do? What have I wanted to have done in my life? That's big. Just tuning into that is just so cool. So just honoring yourself within, honoring your curiosity, and honoring self-love, loving yourself enough to take a chance on yourself. That's the biggest thing. All right, so now I'm going to go into the next part of the reading. Now this is going to include some healing, which is going to be good. We're going to do some Reiki healing in this part. So when I was tapping into the energy this week, it's no big surprise. It was womb healing that needed to come up. Womb healing, sacral healing. A lot of people have blocked sacral chakras. So sacral chakra is the second chakra right above. It's just right in your belly, right below your belly button. So this is the sacral area. It's your womb for women. Anyway, for men, it's still sacral. It's still the pleasure center, right? But more particularly, we're going to tap into the energy of the womb today. And we're going to ask for a womb healing too. We're going to ask for your angels and guides to step forward, and you can participate with this if you wish, if you'd like. But this is an area where we actually store a lot of hurt and trauma, and then we shut it away and ignore it, because then it's, easier to deal with if you don't see it, right? But the thing is that this is where we get our creativity from. This is where we get our excitement from life. And a lot of the times, if your excitement of life is shut down, it's because you're disconnected from your sacral, the pleasure center, the enjoyment of life, the embracing of every situation, right? Good or bad or whatever. So I'm going to get you to just go ahead and put your hands on your belly and you really just tune into that energy. Tune into this place, this part of your body. Just go into this place and connect with it, maybe for the first time for a very long time, right? And just sit with it and feel it and notice it. You don't have to do anything with it, just notice it and send it love. It really needs love. It really needs your love right now. So sacred womb healing, it's an interesting thing because it's a powerfully life-changing thing once you tap into this part of you. This is the part where if you're able to unblock this area in your life, everything will just seem so much more easier and flow so much more better, because this is our energy centers. This is our place where creativity and joy and all of the pleasures of life live. And if you shut yourself off from that, then you're shutting yourself off from all of that, right? So just really tune into it and tap into it and keep your hands there. And as you keep your hands there, I'm going to ask for the energy to be searched down. I'm going to ask for my Reiki guide to come in. I'm just bringing down the energy, spiraling it down right now. We're going to spiral that down into your womb, into that sacral part of you, into that place. Now you can go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Keep your hands over that area of your tummy and just love it. Just send love. Just imagine this, but your hands begin to glow with white light, white healing light. And with that light, it's going to start penetrating into your sacral, into this area, into this place where love, creativity, joy, all the pleasures of life live. We're going to crack it open today. We're going to go in and allowing some of that to start releasing. And if you need healing in this area, this is exactly the time to tap into this energy. Really feel into this part of you. Now imagine this part. I want you to just take a deep breath. We need to take a breath right now. So go in and out. Good. One more breath in and out. Really sinking into your seat, really sinking into this place, really embracing this part of you. Even if it feels uncomfortable, even if you feel a little bit weird about it or you feel some resistance to it, just notice that. Notice the resistance. Notice what's coming up out of that. Now I want you to get these hands a little bit more brighter, a little bit more. Turn that dial up on the brightness of your hands and illuminate your belly and have your belly start to shine. I'm going to crack into that sacral, crack into that place. It's a gentle, loving breaking apart. That's all it is. Now I want you to envision a portal opening up on the front of your belly and on the back side. We're going to break into that and just open that gently, keeping your hands over your belly. And envision a swirling orange light getting brighter and brighter. It may start as a pinhole. It may start as just a swirling port of light. We'll go ahead and just open that up little by little, bit by bit, softly and softly. Good. If you need to take a deep breath, go right ahead. I can feel the energy flowing and moving in and out. Really tapping into that area. Just loving it, embracing it, knowing you can come back to this at any point. You come back to this place, this love, this feeling, this healing, this connection. This is the connection that I was feeling before. That's it. The connection between you and yourself. You and yourself. That's big. Good. You can open your eyes if you're ready. It's just tuning into that part of you, just tapping in and just opening up that place and just noticing what you're feeling. just noticing what's coming up for you. That is the biggest healing that you could ever do for yourself, is just tapping in. Not even manipulating the energies, not even trying to change, alter, or change the state of it. It's just tapping in, just noticing it, just being aware of it. That's it, right? So that part of you is starting to heal little bit by little bit. The more and more attention you give it, the more and more it's going to start working for you and start giving you those divine inspirations. This is where our creativity as women, this is where we create life. If you think about it, this is an area that, a lot of people are ashamed of. They hold a lot of guilt and trauma and remorse. And this is something that you just need to be aware of. If you're holding those kind of lower vibrations, those heavy, dense things, it's just little bit by little bit, just kind of give it love and attention. And the more you do that, the more you tap into that healing part of you, more things are going to start changing. You're very welcome, Renee. Thanks so much for being here. Yeah, I know this is the kind of things that I do with my clients all the time. And I find it's so simple. It's just such a simple thing to do, but it's so easy to forget to do it. Right? Or know how, because that's the thing. We get distracted about like, well, am I doing it right? Like, how should I do this? There is no how. You just do. Set the intention and do whatever feels good. Do whatever feels right. Right? That's all it is. Right? So, all right, I'm going to tap into some cards now. You are very welcome, Nikki. Is it Nikki? Yes. You are very welcome. I'm so happy that you enjoyed that. Yeah, I'm just, a little bit here, a little bit there. That's all it takes. No pressure. Just you do you, right? Okay, so I'm going to bring out my Sacred Geometry deck. I want to see what kind of energies that we need to activate this week in order to get the best out of the energies that we're tapping into. I know, like I said, the energies that I was pulling up was a lot of connection, finding the purpose, but not so much the career purpose, but just the purpose of you, right? What is it that you are longing for? So tapping into that. How do we get the energies? What energies do we need to tap into to make the best out of that? Woo! Emergence. Okay, so this popped out. Love it when it pops out. Emergence. So I love this right here. This is going to be very, very important. This is interesting because it has the red and the orange here, and that is all sacral. Red is root, but orange is all sacral, right? Connective energies, emergence. So the frequency of emergence invites us to approach our reality with a childlike attitude of innocence and wonderment. So just being open to possibilities, other possibilities that you may have thought was silly before, or somebody would judge you for it, so you were afraid to do it, right? So go in there and see what you get. Tap into your sacral chakra, tap into that part of you and see what messages you come out with. That's what I like to do with my clients. I like to get them to tap into each part of their bodies, because your body holds so much information, and you can just learning how to tap into that and learning how to communicate with your body is the most rewarding thing ever, because then you're not only like serving your purpose, but you're serving your body's purpose, and your body is here holding you, right? So it's just getting that connection going, establishing that connection. So going in with the energy of emergence, that wonderment, and watch and celebrate the beauty as it unfolds from that place. That's what the card says. So just really tapping into that place. I think that there's more here. So I'm just going to go into the book and I'm going to see what the book has to say. A lot of the times the book has some really good messages. So 25. Okay. So it says, the emergence can be described as the process of coming into being, which is kind of ironic, because if you think about it, coming into being, how do we come into being? We come into being through the womb, through that part of us, right? So this is really tied in, which is good. So the arising of something that wasn't there before. When referring to a personal development and growth, the emergence of The grander expression of ourselves is often a result of extensive inner work and deep release. That is the biggest thing, right? So in order for real personal growth to happen, we have to be willing to let go of our existing belief systems, frameworks, labels, and that define and limit us. And that's the thing too. That's kind of what I was touching on earlier is, I tapped into the career part of things where, it's not appropriate anymore to have one job your entire life, because that's not serving your soul and it's not allowing you to be at your best, right? So I'm not saying, quit your job right today. I'm just saying start becoming more aware of what it is that you desire, right? Becoming more aware of what it is that you are longing for that you didn't even realize that you had a longing for. It's just tapping into that part of you that has been closed off for a long time. And the closed off part is in your womb, is in your sacral. So just even developing a practice of, maybe in the morning when you wake up, when you put your feet down on the floor, when the first step out of bed, maybe put your hands on your belly and just tune in and say, hey, I love you. What do you need from me today? Let's do that, right? And just kind of getting to know that part of you a little bit more. So it says, in order for real personal growth to happen, you have to be willing to let go of everything that you've known before. So recognizing potential can take us on an exciting inner journey of discovery and integration. From this place of openness and discernment, we can truly unfold and emerge into a new human being. And that's what we're doing right now. We are emerging as a whole new life, as a whole new being, a humanity, right? It's interesting because COVID kind of came in and, shut everything down. I see that as the chrysalis. We are butterflies in our little cocoons right now, and we are not ready to emerge just yet. We're still transforming. We're still changing. We're still tuning in to that new higher frequency that we need to tap into and connect with in order to get to the other side of this, right? Bigger, stronger, all that good stuff. So it's just knowing that, it's interesting. I'm going to read this. There's this part here. It says, try this. So there's this affirmations that go along with this card. And it says, take a deep breath and close your eyes for a moment. What was your when I grow up, what I want to be declaration? That's interesting. What did you realize this childhood dream to be? What was other aspects of yourself that you would like to give birth to? Give birth, tap into that womb part. What are we growing? What are we giving birth to, right? These ideas. Are there any new aspects emerging that you have never expressed before? Keep a journal so that you are aware of your growth. And that I highly recommend too. Absolutely. There's actually a part in my coaching that I require my clients to tap into their journals and start writing things out, because there's so much magic when you put pen to paper and start seeing what unfolds from that, right? So I love that. That was a really great message. And I hope that you connected with that and resonated with that. I hope that works for you. Okay, so I'm just going to pull our animal totem for the week, see what kind of message, what animal is the message for the week, and what kind of energies that we can pull from that. And then, I will send you on your merry way. So if any of this is actually resonating with you, or if whatever is connecting with you, please let me know. I would love to know, what it is that you're connecting with, what is resonating with you, what have you done yourself, share your experience of this. I'm always curious. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, so the card that popped out was the bat. I don't know. Let's find out what that means. The bat. It says, seeing through the illusion into truth. Very, very interesting. Okay. So guidance of the bat. So choosing this card, you choose to open your heart and pour love into and caring into nurturing for those closest to you. When you raise the frequency of your heart center, it enables your throat to expand too. So focus on communicating with love and integrity, and ask Archangel Michael to help you to develop telepathy and other psychic abilities. Now, this is something also that I'm working with my clients as well, and it's really a cool thing. So it's just tapping into that innate sense, innate knowing, and that connection. That's where the connection is. See, this whole entire time that I'm speaking to you, I'm seeing more and more of this connection, which is so cool. So tuning into the bats to download the highest potential and perhaps even spiritual technology of the future. That is very interesting. You know how I just got the sound of a bat in my mind, just that high-pitched squeal, but that high-pitched squeal, I guess, is also a vibrational thing that they communicate with, right? So that makes sense. So they're also telepathically communicating, and so there's something there for us to learn. So Archangel Michael is the one that you want to call upon to help you with this if you want to expand upon this. So it says your guidance is also asking you to look at the world with fresh eyes, with that childlike wonderland. Interesting, just like this card going into the childlike wonderment, right? Everything is getting tied in together. The connection is strong. It blows my mind sometimes. Okay, so tune into that. Okay, so your guidance is to look at the world with fresh eyes. Perceive everything with wisdom. Listen to your intuition to discover the reasons beyond the obvious. Expand your life and remember that there's always new ways to do things. That is beautiful. So if you can take anything away from this reading here today, it's be you. The most truest, deepest way that you could possibly, most authentic way that you could possibly be, whatever that is. And embrace that and open your eyes to new possibilities and tap into that childlike wonderment and excitement and joy and see things in a new way, because that is the new way of living. That is what we are stepping into. So that is beautiful. So I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and thank you so much for being here. Make sure if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to share this with anyone you like, and don't forget to subscribe. And I will be seeing you again very, very soon. So I send you so much love. Mwah. Take care. Bye-bye.